Hello everybody and welcome back to Fortnite Battle Royale, where technically this is my yearly Fortnitemares video. Technically I did already record a dedicated recording to that, but it kinda just didn't come out satisfactory. So I'm just gonna count this one as it, even though doing Fortnitemares isn't really my goal for this. It is kind of like a side bonus, but not exactly the primary goal. I wanted to take a chance and just honestly give my thoughts about this chapter, because I think this is one of the first times where I just feel somewhat unsatisfied. And I kind of just want to give this moment to maybe go over my thoughts and kind of think of why that might be. So the way this is going to go is that I'm just going to play Fortnite just as a background thing while I think up of everything that I want to think of when it comes to critiquing, I guess, this chapter, given my thoughts. First, I'm going to do just the general, gameplay of each season of this chapter, and then go into the story of this chapter. So, of course, let's just start at Season 1. What I think is probably the best season of this chapter, in my opinion. It wasn't too crazy, it kind of stayed the same over the entire period. There was something near the end where, a bunch of broken items were added, but honestly, I think I kind of, slowed down playing near the end, so I didn't really experience those myself. But it was a fun chapter. I mean, the loot pool was nice. I have no real complaints about it, even if others do. I have no complaints, really. It is not an amazing season, but it is a worthwhile start to a chapter and all that. The one thing I do have to mention, though, is the map. Because the map in that first season was incredible. It was they clearly went for a theme and they nailed it. But in the long run, the theme was what ended up hurting it. Let me explain. So clearly it had that Japanese-inspired theme of all that cultural stuff, I don't know how exactly word it, I'm not the smartest. Not the most cultured myself. Oh. We got someone incoming. I love my aim. That's the problem. It was a bit too good at the theme. Because over time, I feel like the theme was easily lost. If we look at the map right now, the only two locations that really hold that same Japanese-inspired theme is Canyon Crossing and Shogun Solitude. Which I'm not really happy with that. If you're gonna have an entire map themed around Japanese aesthetic, that aesthetic should carry over, right? As soon as we go into Season 2, it's already starting to be lost, with a big chunk of the map being replaced with, this grimy, almost modern city aesthetic, kind of I don't know how to exactly describe it, but figure out how to, incorporate that area's design into, a full-on, also Japanese. Don't just abandon the theme just that easily. Either don't have a theme at all, or try to stick to that theme, because I feel just this map feels almost just random and unsatisfying with its current state. I just kind of felt I never want to land anywhere. There's nowhere I absolutely want to go to. So I've gone over Season 1, now about Season 2. It was okay. I did like the central gameplay loop and all that, but the thing was, it was a season that really promoted camping and all that. We all know the disaster known as Midas's area that had his drum gun, where you could just get one free dilbit, and then everyone would land there, camp, all that crap. It's just, what else can I say? There were a lot of gameplay elements I liked about that. I did like the heist theme, how that was executed, all that. The loot pool was, once again, alright in my opinion. Now the mini-season. I think that's the problem with me. A lot of this stuff just doesn't stick with me. There's just no fun gameplay loop in my opinion. It's just all, the Star Wars theme was kind of neat at the end of the day. I like how they try to experiment with all that. How can I describe my dissatisfaction with the Star Wars season? I think it's just certain gameplay loops not clicking for me. Some of my favorite stuff was, as you know, Chapter 2, Season 2 stuff, something like that. I think just because it always has an easy loop that you could follow. I go down to this one place, fight a boss, get the mythics, challenge people on the way, and all that. These seasons don't really have the same thing for me. The Star Wars season just didn't have that much of a loop, in my opinion. You could fight Vader, but I didn't find his mythic all that satisfying. Then there was also Captain Phasma, but once again, I didn't have much fun with that one either. I don't know. There's just nothing that hooked me in that season. It was just It just existed, it was mostly an experimental thing, and that was alright for the most part. It just didn't grab me, personally. Now, the seasons that I'm starting to not like as much, we're getting into the Super. I don't know. I think the theme is just... I think I just didn't like a lot of the loot pool and how it was handled. Getting strong items and stuff didn't feel satisfying or anything. The hero rank was cool. Thing is, I'm not that great at the game and I'll sometimes struggle getting the next hero rank. I don't know. I don't think I have much to say about Super because I didn't play that one as much. So honestly, I feel like I can't really critique that one as a season that I didn't play. I don't know. But at the same time, I do feel like something's just been missing, if you know what I mean. Something isn't all the way there. Hold on. I'm gonna jump on this guy's booty. I'm waiting for him to get into his car. Yep, there it is. I love people that play like this, don't you? Like, what? Alright. I think a big part of the reason why I didn't play as much is just being outranked, I felt a lot. We killed each other, okay. There are moments like that where it's just annoying where people don't fight you in your fighting game, they just run. He had a perfect chance to kill me. I would have been a little bit upset, but still, he could have killed me. But no, he kept, like, trying to run away, and that's just, like... That's not fun to play against. You're there to fight, but the other guy just instantly pieces out as soon as, like, you get close to them. It's nowhere near as bad as Chapter 3, Season 4, but to add on to the thing about, like, feeling constantly outclassed, like, a clip where I'm killed by an Unreal level player. I could tell by the style of that skin that they're wearing. It's just... The thing is, I know that I am definitely not Unreal level. I am like... The furthest I ever got was Diamond in that very same season. So I just constantly feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle against players that are constantly better than me. It's just kind of annoying in my opinion. I'm just here to kind of have a chill, fun time, but Epic treats it just like... treats me as if I'm like a pure professional, same level as some of those content creators. But now that I'm off that tangent, though, I do want to go over the final season, this current one, Chapter 6, Season 4. This one just... Even though I wasn't fully on board, I did kind of like what the start of the season was, just pure chaos. People did complain about the medallion trio, but the thing was, I didn't mind the fact that, it was broken, because, as I just mentioned, I suck. So just having something that heavily helped me was kind of fun, especially because I could still die. I remember once having all 3 medallions, and then this... or at least 2 of them, and then this one guy just instantly one hit killed me. So, yeah, I wasn't invincible. Of course, I didn't play, once again, just because of reasons, I didn't play a lot of this season until, like, near the end, but I did like that starting little bit. Thing was that Epic started, like, I think part of the reason why I stopped playing was because of how heavily Epic started nerfing everything. It's just... Up until the point where, like, I started playing again around the Power Rangers update, but just, like, by that point, most of the stuff had been removed, and just, I had already felt like, man, I feel like the season's personality has almost been taken away with all these changes. And then, like, K-Pop Demon Hunters update, and then, like, literally the entirety of the bugs were gone. I'm just like, bruh. Just literally that one clip of Joe Biden going, bruh.
Bruh.
What's the... You could argue that happened with the previous Marvel season. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you could see I suck. I suck. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was painful, and I know I'm gonna have to upload that to the internet. But you know what? It proves my point. That I am not good. I tried playing on keyboard to see if it helps with my aiming issues. I felt like I was... Oh my gosh. I felt like I was doing advanced trigonometry, like I was asked to figure out the cure to cancer when I tried to play on keyboard. But yeah, the fact that I felt like a lot of the season was taken away, just... yeah, I didn't have fun. I mean, and I didn't entirely mind the medallions being taken away, because for the longest time, I was just tired of medallions. Like, I always loved the concept of the boss POIs, overcome a large amount of enemies in a contested area for a powerful tool. But the thing was that, like, with medallions, that was almost virtually taken away at a certain point. Not only did it make locations more contested and even more sweaty, but it just... you would constantly have to fight people off. Like, you won your loot, but you haven't won until you've won the game, which I found kind of annoying. But the fact that everything was taken away from this season just, yeah, I went from pure chaos to just feeling really mellow, and that's such a shock to me, and I just felt unsatisfied near the end. Plus, this map just feels empty now, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like I didn't do as good, but those are kind of my thoughts on this chapter as a whole. Like, the first two seasons were probably the highlight of it for me, but it slowly fizzled out as the chapter went on. All I could hope is that Chapter 7 picks up where this chapter left off and learns from its mistakes. Okay. Well, who was behind me? Oh, this is an actual person. Not real enough, buddy. But there is something I do want to give my thoughts on. Next season. Because that's another mini-season. And it's the Simpsons season. I'm willing to give it a chance. I was very apprehensive at first, but I'm willing to at least give it a chance. I feel like maybe my first reaction was a bit unfair, but at the same time, I do understand my thoughts on it. This is just out there, like, this is a shooter game. How can you incorporate The Simpsons into that in this big of a collab? Something like Marvel or Star Wars can work, because, like, that can fit into, like, the core concept of Fortnite. The Simpsons... If you've seen The Simpsons, you know that is the most like, huh? I mean, I get Fortnite's a cartoon shooter, but I don't think you can delve that far into the cartoon side of things. But I am willing to give it a chance, since the story does seem interesting, with Homer having a piece of the 0-point shard, and messing up reality with the remote infused with it. In fact, mentioning story should bring me into my next point. The story lately. Thing is, I've, like, seen, like, cliff notes of it, like, what it's about, and it looks really cool. Like, I'm not joking. The Fortnite story, it actually seems to be picking up. It's kind of finding its footing. The thing is, Fortnite's not focusing on that story. I feel like the direction it's going is amazing, but it's just, well, not amazing, so to say, but it's at least interesting. Oh, shit. I have no sprint. This is like... Wait till he lands. There we go. What the fuck?! How... I want to ask how I did not go through the roof. That was very confusing to me. But yes, I do think that the story is going in an interesting direction. It is building up, so to say. But the fact is, I never knew about any of the story because they never focus on it. Like, if we go to this season's story quests, there has only been 3. That is, I feel like, not enough to carry the story. Plus the fact that it seems like Epic keeps wanting to focus on the story through talking with random NPCs, which I know I could probably do if I took, like, some time out of my day, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, the only way that you know the reason that, like, the bugs might have gone away, outside of Megazord, maybe, which even then it's kind of like, what the fuck, Megazord got rid of the bugs? The only way you know is by talking with the random NPC who says, like, the bugs must have retreated so suspiciously fast because of an even bigger predator coming. Just like, that's like, really cool, but at the same time, it's so, like, this wasn't built up at all because you do not focus on the story. It is like a second thought for you to focus on the gameplay. So, one thing, I just hope going into the next chapter, Epic focuses on the story a bit more, not asking for them, like, to go all in on it, like, just make it nothing but the story, but just make it something more than, like, an afterthought that happens in the background. Because most of this chapter, I just thought, like, the story barely existed because of how they're treating it. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, thank you, buddy. I know you're here. Yeah, you keep... I feel like I'm being a hypocrite because earlier I go on about people just running away, and I do exactly that. But I knew if I was going to push that guy, he was going to do nothing but instantly beam me out of the sky. And there's just no good mobility on me right now. I keep forgetting to reload my pumpkin launcher. I feel like I have gone over most of my main thoughts for this chapter. I don't know if any of it doesn't make sense or it's incoherent, because I feel like my thoughts can not always be well put together. But I'd love to just hear some of you guys' feedback in the comments, because I love interacting with people in just a lighthearted and positive way, just casually exchange thoughts. But yeah, this chapter, even though it had some good points, it definitely is probably going to be one of my least favorites personally. And going forwards, all I could hope is that the Chapter 7 can, like, really pick things up. And now let's just see how far I can get into this game. I don't suspect me to get far, but why not try at the very least? There's someone around here, I'm scared. Oh. Holy shit. This has way more recoil than I remember. Well, let's see how it goes. Yep, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Am I the only one that thinks cars need to be nerfed? Like, I feel like they should go back to the way that they were, like, the way that the SUV was at launch, and then just everything else back to the way it was at the start of Chapter 2, because I feel like Chapter 2 was... I feel like Chapter 2 was probably the best balanced version of cars. Well, probably not the exact launch of Chapter 2, but just, like, era Chapter 2 cars. Where, like, they did not do well off-road, they didn't really have any, like, unlimited boost. All that, you know? Because the only one that had boost was the Whiplash, and even then, like, it really drained that fuel, which made boosting situations not way too viable. Which I can commend when every car has a boost that just regens over time. How are my 90s? It's 0 build, my guy. You're not doing any 90s. Alright. What's over there? Oh! Wait, what? What is... Excuse me? Oh, that's how the... Oh. I never noticed that. That's how the frickin' airstrike gets called in. I was like, what's that up in the sky? You know what? It's probably not a good idea to shoot at him from a distance. Because, I mean, he's so far away. You should wait for him to close the distance, and... Because that's definitely the best player in the lobby. Like, look at this shit. Oh, I don't have circle anymore. Oh, that sucks. Now that he knows my location, he's probably gonna be rushing right on over. Oh shit! Oh shit, he got taken out! Where is his killer, though? Oh! Alright. That's a wrap. But yeah, I'll probably get to editing this right away, try to get this before the event. I don't think I'm going to be able to see the event because I unfortunately have work at the same time. I don't really want to drop my shift just to watch a Fortnite live event. So this will actually be the first one that I miss in a while. Like, I haven't missed one since... What was it? It had to have been like the Star Wars event in the beginning of Chapter 2. But yeah... I hope you guys enjoyed. Please tell me about my thoughts in the comments below if you can say anything. But yeah, see you guys later.